Here are your directions for your independent work time on Thursday, October 29th. Okay, now I'm going to be reading the directions. I'm going to be reading you the text. It is your job to listen at least 2 times. Directions. Read the text once for flow. In this case, we're listening once for flow. We're just listening. We're not doing anything else. The second time we're going to read or listen for purpose. The purpose is to highlight the key terms/ideas. Okay, write your key ideas/terms. It's the same thing. They got flipped. They're saying the same thing. Don't worry. Write your key ideas/terms in the chart or on paper if you chose that option. Okay, so the things you highlighted, you're going to then write in the chart. After you've written those things, you're going to find your evidence that matches or supports your key ideas and terms and write them on the opposite column of the chart. I recommend color coding. So a key idea and an evidence piece that goes along with it, I would recommend making those things the same color so you know they go together. After you've done all of your chart, you're going to write a 3-sentence summary when you're finished. Use the sentence starters that are given. This is the only time in which you need to have complete sentences when note-taking. Decide what type of video you will make based on our choices and record on Flipgrid. So your teacher may have given you a few options of a type of video you need to make. It is possible that you may need to finish this part during asynchronous time if you're not finished. That's all right. Okay, so here's the article itself. It's called Life in the Arctic. Welcome to the Arctic. That is the cold, windy area around the North Pole. It includes the Arctic Ocean and the land near it. Snow and ice cover the ground for much of the year. The Arctic is a habitat, or a place in nature where many animals live. Notice their context clue. It is giving us the definition for habitat right next to it, after that comma. The walrus, polar bear, and snowy owl are a few of those animals. They have different ways to survive the cold. So it looks like we're going to hear about 3 animals that live in the Arctic and how those 3 animals survive the cold. Okay, the first is our walrus. Then it looks like we have a polar bear and a snowy owl. I want to point out to you that I've split your chart into 4 paragraphs so that you could do that introduction paragraph on this box. You could do the walrus here. You could do the polar bear here and the snowy owl here. That would be my recommendation to make it nice and organized, okay? Let's find out how the walrus survives. A walrus spends most of its time in the icy water. This marine animal has a thick layer of blubber or fat under its skin to keep it warm. So it's an animal. Marine animal means the animal that spends most of its time in the water. And they're saying that he has a thick layer of blubber, also called fat, under his skin to keep him warm. When the walrus swims, its body works in a special way to stay warm. Blood flows away from its skin to its important organs inside its body. They include the heart and the brain. So those are just some examples of the organs that get blood flow as he's swimming. That keeps heat from leaving the walrus's body, and the animal's skin turns white. So instead of it being like his heat is being stored on his skin, right? As he's swimming around, it goes inside and the heat is stored in his organs so that the heat doesn't leave his body and it keeps his organs warm, basically. Okay? So the heat keeps, that keeps heat from leaving the walrus's body and the animal's skin turns white. Then, when the animal is warm again, its skin turns a pink color. So when that blood goes back to the skin, its skin turns pinkish again. Okay, our second animal. So now we're on our 3rd paragraph. A polar bear has special fur to keep it warm. Each hair is shaped like a straw. the shape helps direct sunlight toward the bear's black skin. So it soaks that sunlight in. The black skin collects and holds in heat. Polar bears also have a layer of blubber under their skin. So I heard that they have sort of straw tube-like hairs, and that those hairs draw in the sunlight. That sunlight then is collected and lays kind of on that dark skin. Darker colors tend to hold more heat. You probably know that if you've ever sat in a car that has black seats, burns you if it's been in the sun for a while, right? So holds that heat more. And then in addition to the tube-like hair and the black skin, also they have a layer of blubber under their skin. Okay, snowy owl. How does a snowy owl stay warm? Well, it has 2 layers of feathers. They cover the owl's entire body, including its legs and feet. The bottom layer of feathers, called down, is soft and fluffy. The outer layer of feathers is thick. In a strong wind, the snowy owl may hide on the ground behind a pile of snow or rocks to block the wind. Okay, so now you're going to want to make sure you listen a second time. If you've already done that, hopefully you've highlighted some key ideas from each paragraph. You'll write those in the box, and then you'll give me some evidence that matches. Whoopsie. Okay, finally, your summary. The main idea of the text is, one piece of evidence is, and another detail or another piece of evidence is. And you can use things from your note taker to help you formulate these ideas. Don't forget to make your Flipgrid video at the end.